going live. We're going live everywhere. We're going live on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of my six Facebook channels, my LinkedIn, and my YouTube simultaneously. So
All right.
it's about to go down. And I know you're a classy guy, but one of the times I pulled out someone asked me about my EDC. We're live now. And I pulled out my handgun and they shut me down. Kicked me off all the lives instantly.
Wait, I got to make sure nothing's laying around.
Yeah, man.
No, I think we're good. Yeah. A couple bottles of booze in the background. That's it. So we should be good.
Nothing crazy, right? Yo, what is up, world? What's up, world? What's up? All the social media platforms here, Instagram here. I am so happy. We got something pretty awesome to roll out with a living legend, Rick Sweeney, in the house. I've heard his name my entire executive protection career. For those of you guys on the IG, I'm just gonna center this up. So, I don't want to center this up a little bit so you guys can. I don't have to move my head too much. You guys can follow along. If you're on Instagram right now, I want to encourage you to go to YouTube, hit the link in my bio so you can get this full experience. Instagram, may or may not cut us off. So what's up? It's good to see everyone I know and love. Can you guys hear me? Give me some sevens in the comments if you can hear me. Lucky number 77777. We got outstanding 45 people on the IG. We got 27 already on YouTube. We're going to be rolling out something really big for the EP industry. Like I said, if you're on IG, go to my YouTube channel, hit the link in my bio. You'll see my YouTube channel. Good to see you, McKenna Tech. Man, everybody's in the house. So sweet. I got some sevens coming through. That's what's up. Thanks, Steve. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good. I can't pronounce that name. We got some sevens. Where's everyone from out here? What's the reach? 777. Good, man. You guys can hear me. Radio check clear. Good to go. We're licking chicken, as they like to say in the Marine Corps. And where are you guys from? Give me some locations, man, some cities, some states. Just because I love to see the reach on this thing. I know it's international every time we do one of these. People are reaching us from everywhere. We got Illinois in the house, 777, my man. Good to see you, buddy. We got Central North Carolina, Cali. That's what's up. We got everybody's in here, man. New York's in here. Los Angeles is in here. Wisconsin in the house. Good to see y'all. Phoenix, Arizona. We're going to be coming pretty close to you, Stan. Good to see you. Los Angeles, Seattle, New Hampshire. Man, everybody. Riverside up the street. That's what's up. Riverside, California. Toronto, Canada. We got our Canada guys. Florida's in the house. Good to see you, Felicia. Tampa, wow, New Orleans, Bay, we got Canada, Italy, man, my man. Canada, my man, you've been following me for a while, man. Much love, much respect. North Carolina, sweet. So we are live, about to roll some things out to you guys. Some really good quality training on the executive protection side of the house, something that professionals have been needing. I'm just going to give you a hint. We want to make every day of your executive protection career easy after we roll this out. And I have Rick Sweeney here rolling with me of Sec 4 360, Sec 4 International. And he's a living legend in the space. He's been doing this for a really long time. I've heard his name my entire career. And see, you guys on Instagram aren't going to get to see the moto video. I'm going to give you a couple more minutes to get to YouTube and hop on and join us so you can see the moto video when we roll it out. No one's seen it before. I love you guys. Okay, so Rick, why don't you dig in and just maybe give us a little glimpse of your background so everyone knows who they're listening to, who I've joined forces with, and what we're about to do, my friend.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Rick Sweeney. I run a firm called Sec 4 International. Put the name down there in my my actual tag so you guys can see how to spell it.
Nice.
My background is basically I've been running in hostile environments pretty much for about 30 years. I've worked in a couple non-hostile environments, medium risk environments, but mainly I pretty much started in zones of conflict, and we do a lot of work there still. And in addition to that, been running details down in Mexico and Colombia, Brazil. We do media stuff over in Syria. I know some of you guys, there might be one of you guys out on this listening list here that hit us up and asked us to help them out with an incident recently in Ukraine, which we did. So we like to move around hostile environments. So years ago, we started protecting clients in these areas as well. Started back in Iraq, a little bit before that, Bosnia, then Iraq. We started protecting engineers down there that were taking care of the electricity grids. That's right around the time I started my company back in 2006 and 7. I worked in Iraq for a couple of years running teams there before that. And just started doing personal security, running executives down in Mexico. We did that for years straight. We're still doing that now. Engineers, solar engineers. We started doing artists back in the day as well. So a lot of artists and their management teams, when they feel that their client is going somewhere a little bit risky, they'll sometimes give us a call. So we're doing a lot of artist work and tours, but in South America, we've been to Lebanon with artists, Saudi Arabia, which I don't really consider very risky. But other places, a lot of gigs in Mexico. This last month, I would say we've probably done 30 different moves down in South America, Argentina, Brazil, Colombia. Also, Mexico is a regular hunt for us, and just a lot of protective work. So years ago, we started teaching others how to do this, our system. And we weren't trying to buck anybody else's system. Basically, what we wanted to do is there's a whole world out here that I'd never heard of, which is low profile, high risk. You might not be running with a plate carrier and an M4, but you're in those same areas and you have to get the job done. Who's teaching that? Well, we didn't find anybody that really was. And since we were running these types of details, we thought, well, let's start teaching this type of curriculum. And started doing that, and also did some government training for a couple of years. I was program manager for an anti-terrorist training program for the United States government, the military. And then, as many of you know, we started running a lot of veteran training since 2012. We were doing an academy that got up to a 7-week academy for protective specialists. You know, most of our students ended up either going into the corporate space. A lot of them, about half of them, I would say, went back into the government space, in the protective world. And that's it. So just a lot of running in high threat environments, and now teaching people how to do the same thing. And that's about it. There's a lot of specifics when you guys come to our classes that I'll talk to you about when we're there. But in a nutshell, that's what I do.
Boom. That's what's up. Awesome. I'm just flipping the screen so the folks that are on Instagram can watch us, and hopefully they pop over and join us on YouTube. Join us on YouTube, you guys, so you can see this video we're about to roll out. So now what we've done, right? And you guys, for those of you guys who don't know me, Byron Rogers, executive protection is my only job. You know, some say, I didn't choose the game chose me. But when I was 21, I, by the grace of God, ended up on one of the most traveled executive protection details in our industry. We hit 60 some countries the first year. It was like learning to drink out of a fire hose. Just got out of the Marine Corps, infantry, 2 deployments to Iraq, 3-1 Lima Company, weapons platoon, and just been doing that ever since. Built my career on the East Coast in Florida. Started as a bouncer in Florida after working in Cali. Wanted to reset. Both times I actually started from a bouncer, built my career from the door. And now I own my own boutique private security company, Bravo Research Group. Y'all out in Cali know me. You know, we work together. It's beautiful. But now what me and Rick are joining forces on is, and obviously I have a school, the League of Executive Protection Specialists. Rick Sweeney has a school, Sec 4 International 360. They've been around for my whole career. And I've always wanted to train with them. But now what you guys are going to get to experience is the fusion of these two worlds. So, you know, the high threat stuff, you know, Rick's been working in Mexico and all around the world, like he just told you, the real deal high threat stuff mixed with everything that I've learned on the job in, you know, I don't know how many countries it is at this point, but the things that I bring to the game with the league and everything that I've done with training day and executive protection lifestyle, it's going to be a fusion. We want to bring training to the game that's extremely realistic, very difficult. That's going to be very highly recognized, and it's going to be unlike anything you have access to or have probably done in your career, maybe even in your prior careers. So without any further ado, it's about to get real. I'm going to bring you guys video that's going to explain what we are looking at. Ladies and gentlemen, stand by, palms down. Boom, what's going on, you guys? Byron Rogers here. Want to come to you because we're rolling out our hard skills sustainment training, ladies and gentlemen. Get your medical, get your firearms package done, get your contact driving course.
A little bit glitchy.
Yeah, gotta love.
That's what happens when you go live.
I know I did. And all right, that is what happens when you go live. Let's see here. Apparently the video is still playing, right?
It is? All right.
It's like in the background, still running. Your local law enforcement, it all done in one place for the year. Come and spend about a week with us. Get your local law enforcement, get your federal, get all your certifications, CCW, all that stuff, all at those levels. Get your medical done, get your TCCC, TCC, all this stuff. AED, first aid, get it all done in one place. Get your driving out of the way, get all of it done, get your hard skill sustainment done with us. It's going to be something you haven't experienced before. We've got some things, and obviously, I like to change the game up that we're going to be doing. I have joined forces with Rick Sweeney of Sec 4. We are putting together high threat executive protection packages. So, with the real world experience that myself and Rick has, the high threat experience, all that stuff, these are not going to be gentlemen's courses. Good to go. These are going to be courses that are designed to make every single day of your executive protection career easy after you make it through these trainings. It's going to be immersive. It's going to be intense. It's going to raise the standard and raise the bar. And it's going to be something that's very, very highly recognized in our industry. And it's just going to be an honor to train with all of you and welcome you to the League of Executive Protection Specialists. Hit the link that accompanies this video. Let's train together. It's about to go down. Nice. Boom. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We are rolling out our first executive protection hard skills sustainment training, or hard skills intensive, depending on where you're at in your career and at your experience level. When I guess I'll say when I surveyed kind of the training and the assets and the different schools I could join forces with, really me and Rick just kind of collided by chance, and he was the guy I really wanted to join forces with. Let's dig into it a little bit, Rick, and let's let them know exactly what they were looking at there. Those are all real clips from training. From what we're going to be offering you. There's no stock photos or clips in there. You guys are going to
basically that's mostly me running around with a phone, trying to get shots while we're actually training. What we didn't do there is set up anything. We don't really go out in the range and get a bunch of instructors together and then try to make something look pretty. If you see people messing up in there, it's because they messed up in training. If you don't mess up in training, you're not going to get better. But that was actual training that we've done. Some of it was a group of veterans going through. Another group that I saw in there of our training that was private courses will actually take corporate teams that are already well established. There was a group of tier 1 guys that were part of a corporate security team. We trained them up, and they thought it was great as well. But what we like to do is our thing is, as Byron has mentioned, we go hard. But we try to give you the skills that in that 1 in a million chance, we're on that Dumb and Dumber system so you're saying there's a chance, right? If there's a 1 in a million chance something could go wrong on detail, we want you to be prepared. The one thing I never got in this industry was I used to hear people saying that we were giving too much training. Too much training is bad, apparently. And there was a lot of groups out there doing a majority of soft skills training. Soft skills is hugely important. But the problem I had with that is if you go to a 1-week course and 90% of it is soft skills, when you get out and you're assigned to a client, what if something goes wrong? You don't have the skills to take care of the problem. If most of your stuff was soft skills, you can't drive, you can't do medical, you can't go hands-on, and you probably, if you're an armed EP agent, you're not going to be very proficient or safe with that weapon if you've had minimal hard skills training. So we agree that soft skills are hugely important, and we push that as well. But The way we look at it, you got to have those hard skills in your back pocket, just in case that 1 in a million happens. And 1 in a million, that's a sliding scale, right? You end up protecting an NGO group over in Ukraine. Okay, let's bump that down to 1 in 100,000. You end up in Kyiv. Okay, let's bop that down to 1 in 10,000. Something might go down.
Right.
So that is a sliding scale, right? We understand that it's not applicable to every detail. We get it. But shouldn't you have those skills to protect your client in that one instance something happens? And that's basically what our training is all about. That long shot that something happens, you need to be up for it.
100%. That's awesome. And I think what's dangerous about executive protection operations is a lot of guys can slip into this kind of state where, like, if nothing goes wrong, they think it's because they're so good. You can like really stop believing in the enemy if you're not careful. You know what I mean? You can start thinking, oh, we're just that good. We got the flow. And then, you know, the reality is we're protecting these clients that, you know, are worth billions. You know, you can run into a sophisticated attack. And so do you know that your teams are prepared? Do you know that your employees, your agents that you have out in the field are prepared? You know, do you know you yourself have been taught ways to deal with these things? These are the questions that I want you to look in the mirror and ask yourself. You know, when's the last time you went through someone or some training that's going to have you execute these operations with stress involved, that someone's going to teach you how to do it and build you up so that you can operate in these types of situations. I hate to say it, but I know the answer for a lot of us, man. It's not since we were back in our, you know, our careers, really, that we had to deal with really, really understanding what we can and can't do and have systems in place and have training in place to fall back on. So this is something that we all should be doing really on like at least an annual basis. So we know what habits we should be working when we get out and when we're on our own time.
One of the privates we did recently, Byron, is we had a group, corporate group, private training. For them, they considered it sustainment training. We had a SEAL Team 6 guy, a Dev Group guy. We had a 218 Deltas, I think it was, another SF guy from 10th Group.
Wow.
These guys had some resumes,
Yeah.
and they were coming together to act on this EP team. Well, they thought the training was great because a lot of times these hard skills that they had gone through, it wasn't protector centric. It wasn't geared exactly towards the small teams that these guys would be running on. And that's what we do. We're realistic in the matter. You're not going to be on a 19-man team. You're going to be on a team between 1 and 3 individuals normally. And that's in most environments in the world. So you should work in a smaller team like that. And these guys really appreciated that we kind of focused on that and they all learned something. So if these guys, these accomplished tier 1 guys can learn something, I know everybody out here can get something from it. I bet some of you on this thread, on this live cast, have been through our training. I saw somebody there saying that Sec4's medical training is second to none. I just saw that comment. Thank you, Brandon. We try to go above and beyond. If you got it in the military, we got to do it better. That's our angle here. So whether it's sustainment training or first time out the gates, it's really a good workup.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. No, I love that. These are the competencies that we should be holding down just as working professionals, you know, and it's going to be a certificate that is going to be highly recognized because the quality of what we're going to be giving people, like I said in the videos, is no gentleman's course. You're not bringing a suit to this course, guys. You're going to get down in this course. Now, let's dig into the nuts and bolts of it. And
Okay.
you guys, you know, I don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose you, but I'm going to throw the link in here just so you guys can start checking it out. Just save that link in the chat. You guys on Instagram, you've got the link to this training in my bio. But let's get into the nuts and bolts of it. Medical, you know, what are we bringing as far as the medical components of training? And then we'll go right down the line with all the stuff we're bringing.
Right. So we're actually kicking off with medical. I like to kick off the training, any EP training with medical. And here's why. Once we do medical, we're going to take that medical that you learned and we're going to throw it into all the other modules in training. You're not just done after you do your first couple of days of medical. So what we're going to be doing in this next 8-day workup, May 6th through 13, is we're going to do obviously, we have to do the CPR AED because that's required by almost every single employer I've ever seen. So we're going to give you that cert through American Red Cross. We're going to give you the Tactical Emergency Casualty Care. You military guys know that as Tactical Combat Casualty Care. Same thing, a little more politically correct language, and they're taking out some of the invasive interventions, but some penetrating trauma, gunshot wounds, stab wounds, things like that. You'll actually get a certificate through the NAEMT, National Association of EMTs, for that one. So these are all certifications you're going to be getting. So they're legit for your employment package that you guys will have. And we're also going to throw in, because this is important if you're on detail, medical emergencies. Medical emergencies such as cardiac issues, stroke, severe allergies, blood sugar issues. These are the things you're more likely to run into on detail than anything else. And so we like to throw those in there because those are very realistic problems that you may encounter. You're going to get a heart attack or food poisoning or a bad allergy before you're going to get somebody shot through the chest, hopefully, depending on where you're working. And so we do want to throw those in. Your lead instructor for the medical is a licensed paramedic. He's got about 16,000 patient contacts under his belt, but that's not all. He's also a WIPS medic. So he's recently been through the WIPS medic workup in the last year and a half, I guess. So he's up to date on the State Department medic protective protocols and the medicine that they're practicing. And he also works as a protective agent for us. So he goes to all these great places like Colombia and Brazil and Mexico and works clients for us. And so huge asset, not only in the medical side of the house, but knows how to relate it to protective services. And so that's real important to us. You bring a paramedic out just on the street into the classroom, he might know medicine really well, but might not know how to relate it to a protective detail. And we like to make sure that everything kind of meshes, and it meshes with this individual. So that's our medical component. You want to say anything before we move on, or you want me to just kind of keep rolling?
Yeah, no, I think it's awesome. I think the fact that, and really kind of one of the thoughts and ways and reasons that the ways that I wanted to put this together, and Rick already kind of had all this stuff in one place, is I want you guys to walk away with all the certificates that employers are looking for when it comes to these different categories. I want you to walk away with your TCCC, your TCC, your first aid, your AED, both on the realistic from the beginning of the spectrum all the way up to the most extreme case. So you'll get your AED, and your first aid stuff, which is extremely relevant because, like he said, you're more likely to be out to dinner with your client and one of their guests start having issues with their heart, or you're more likely to deal with that anywhere. You could be in a restaurant, it could have nothing to do with your party, and your client still might look at you. And when they give you that look, it's time to go to work. All the way up to the worst day of your career when you actually have to make sure and be as advertised and understanding how to, plug those holes and start the breathing, stop the bleeding, protect the wound, and treat for shock. So having that training, full spectrum, one place, 1 week of training, just about a little over, and to get all your medical done for the year and those certificates and all that stuff, that's a huge, huge, huge value add. And that's the stuff that we're looking for as employers, and to see that you have all of the stuff on the spectrum. You're not just heavy on the tactical stuff or just heavy on the clean medicine. You've got it all. That's awesome. Bringing in instructors that have real world experience with it and that are working in the industry. Once upon a time guys that are working in the industry currently and know what to look for and know how to teach you executive protection centric medicine. That's going to be that's a huge value add. So now I'm really excited about that, because I've been to some spots where we just did one or the other. We're doing it all. So you come to this training, you get it all done. Boom, medical. Let's roll into the firearms stuff.
Yeah, and real quick, guys, if you go to Byron's link after we're all done with this thing, and the video that he just showed you on here. Now, kind of look at it again. You're going to see a bunch of dudes running up to a car with blown out windows and engine. That's one of the final scenarios in our 3-day medical or our 2-day medical that we probably threw in when you weren't ready for it at some point in time. But that's the type of thing you're to expect when you come out. That's just one of 3 scenarios we did with that last group. The other we won't spoil it for you, but then you'll kind of get an idea of the intensity that we request of you when you're going through even these short courses.
You won't be sitting in
Fire.
the classroom. You won't just be sitting in the classroom trying to stay awake. You're going to be
Yeah, you know what
moving.
I'm actually gonna try to do this. I'm actually gonna try to send out the theory, because the only problem with certification courses, there's
Right, right.
theory involved. Theory, you have to know it, right, guys? I'm gonna
Yep.
see if I can send some of that stuff out online to you about 2 weeks out, so you can actually get through most of that
Yes, yes.
theory, so we can do most of the stuff hands on when we get there. There's just no sense sitting in a classroom with this great training ground, right outside the doors, just begging you to get out there and run around and shoot stuff and smash into cars and plug holes.
Yeah, the training ground's pretty amazing. And my whole career, I saw this training ground and I wanted to go there. So this is so cool. Should we mention that now or should we put it after we get done going through the training? What do you think?
We'll do it at the end.
Okay, we'll do it at the end. Or we can keep it a secret and y'all can figure it out if you buy your tickets. Anyways.
Okay.
All right. So, right.
So when we do firearms training, obviously we're going to 8-day workup. So obviously, most of you guys have been through and gals have been through firearms workup before, and we get that. We've got a really unique lead instructor for firearms. I'm not going to tell you his bio here, but he does a lot of kind of federal stuff and law enforcement centric, former military. He does a lot of stuff, but what he did, he developed his own system just to get you shooting faster, safer, and more accurate in a shorter period of time. And we didn't use him for the first, since we started doing these train ups in 2012, we didn't use him for the first 6 years because we were using other locations. He just happens to be right down the street from the training ground that we're at now. When we brought individuals out, I could see the difference and how quickly these individuals, the students, actually got faster, safer, and more accurate because of his systems that he's kind of created throughout his career. So other than that, when you guys get up to speed with the safety, speed, and accuracy, we're going to start throwing at you protective scenarios. We're going to teach you how to move with a client. A lot of people go Sewell, we go high. Now, a lot of people hate that and made fun of us at first. And then when you're running through or something like that, you understand that if you're going Sewell, you're flagging the heck out of your client if you're trying to move them and you have a weapon now. We don't like to move with a client and a weapon at the same time, but even if there's people moving around you and they're going Sewell and the client's being stuffed low, you might be flagging that client. So when we're moving clients in close confines, we're going high, not low. A lot of guys had a hard time transitioning, but then they actually saw how that was beneficial. We're going to get into actions on principle, client evacs, live fire. We start out slow. We see how you go. 1 person, 2 persons, and then maybe we'll get up to 3 persons. Because like I said, no matter where I work, and I can be in Syria, I can be in Lebanon, I can be in Colombia. I rarely will have more than 3 people on the security team.
Exactly.
And that's just the way it is. That's the reality. If you go to a school and they do a 19-man detail at the end, they're just trying to save money because they don't want to do a whole bunch of details.
Right. I agree with you, man. That was some of the stuff that I saw. And I was like, this isn't, because I did most of my career and then I went to training and I was sent by a school. And I remember getting there and being like, this isn't really like what we're doing. Maybe if I was on a state department detail, I was like, nah, it's 1, maybe 2 guys out there, And so when we look at this the attack on principle, moving with principle, and a lot of our training, it's all centric to 1 to 2 guys. Maybe we'll throw a 3 guy in there because you just happen to be at some big event, but really it's 1 to 2 guys. Everything that you need to know, obviously the firearms, your competencies are going to be addressed very heavily before we begin moving and doing the high speed stuff, but you're going to get a lot of the high speed stuff. You're going to get the scenarios. We have buildings that we can teach you how to move. We're going to teach you how to move with your principal. It's all going to culminate into something great at the end. Like I said, this will be the type of training you go through at the end of the day when everything comes together, that you're going to be like, I actually know that I do have some competence and I've dealt with some non-standard problems when it comes to these different competencies. So we have some buildings out there. We can get you some close quarters movement. I like to call it close quarters movement, not CQB, with your principal and dealing with that stuff on a force on force level. Where, like I said, you're not bringing a suit to this training. So that's, firearms package. The attack on principle package is going to be good. And you're going to have to pass some tests and things like that and demonstrate competency. Not everyone's going to walk away with, I mean, we're going to train you. We're going to make sure you have the information. We've got amazing trainers. We're going to make sure you get up to the level, but walking away with your certificate is going to be an accomplishment, you know, and that's how we're going to make sure this is something that's well recognized. So yeah, man, the firearms portion is awesome.
In addition to that, we're going to be doing obviously live fire vehicle stuff, limo down, things like that. But you know, we culminate into a pretty good package. And what's nice is we've done this so many times. We've done these drills so many times. We know how to keep them safe, but get you to that level pretty quickly, just because we've been able to work out over the years, maybe problems we had as instructors, and figured out what we were doing wrong to not get the students up to snuff as quickly as we'd like them. We worked all that out already. And so keeping everybody safe, and then keeping and getting you to that proficiency level that you will, I guarantee some of you will be surprised. The last private I did, there was one female in the class, and I had asked her about the prior training she had. She told me she had training here. She went to Iraq and had training there. She had training here. She had training there. She had all this training. After an hour of training, she said, I've never hit a target like this before. I've never been this accurate. And I said, well, you're a good student. And she goes, no, it's the instruction. The instruction was different than what I received in these other locations at these other places. And instead of just doing a drill, we were taught how to excel at that drill and get better at that drill. Right. And that's not me. That's our lead firearm instructor and our other instructors there. They're just awesome at that and being able to diagnose problems. So if you think you're not a good shot, neither did she. She thought she was a lousy shot. And I told her, I said, it's never you. It's always us. And in this case, I got lucky. It was me teaching her. So, okay, it was me that time.
We just throw that out there, you know.
Yeah. It's not you, the student. If you think you're a bad shot, it's not you. I guarantee you, when you come out with us, you're going to go away thinking you're a good shot and that you can shoot on the move and take care of tactical problems. And you'll probably have some medical issues rehaunting you when you're doing those live fire drills as well. We like to bring everything together at the end to make a real complex problem that you'll have to solve. And you'll build up to it. So it's not like we're just going to dump it all to you at the end there. But yeah, phenomenal. Short 3 days, you know. I love week-long, maybe even longer packages, but 3 days. We know y'all work. Everybody has to go back to work or do what they're doing. We get that. So we've been able to condense this really, really good package into a pretty short few days.
Heck yeah. So you guys are going to get everything in one spot. Let's dig in. Let me dig in real quick to the guy I brought on for the hand-to-hand portion. Jonathan Berkey, he's a very impressive martial artist. He is one of the original black belts with the Gracie family, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy headquarters. He got his jiu-jitsu black belt in the 90s. He's been training. I don't know if you guys have caught on yet, but every time we say there's a guy that does some stuff with some guys, it means he's a guy that does some stuff with some guys. You know what I mean? So he's a guy that's just starting to break into the civilian market. He does Next Level Training is his company. He's breaking into the civilian market. He's been training law enforcement agencies. He's been training all the other agencies and militaries around the world in a system of hand-to-hand combat that will help you deal with a threat standing up, deal with a threat on the ground, especially as our ethos is to safely get off the X. No matter what the situation is. He's got something special that he's developed for us. He's never taught for any other schools. He is just now starting to break out of the military and agency market. So what we have here when it comes to the hand-to-hand portion is something special that has not been taught to civilians. That is going to be really, really big. And no matter what your competency is, no matter what your level of experience is, this is a simple system that is going to help you be more formidable and effective in hand-to-hand encounters. And he's shown it and explained it to me, and I can't wait to equip you guys with this as you move into your careers. Because I'm telling you guys, man, I see resumes all the time. I just did an in-doc for some guys for a detail I'm staffing out here in the OC, and one of the guys, great guy, amazing human being, but he looked really good on paper. But then once we started to check his hard skill competencies, he admitted himself. He's like, I've just still got a lot I need to work on. I was in the military, and I just thought that was kind of good enough. And it wasn't today, and that's what I don't want you guys to be dealing with. That's, if you're running a detail and you want to get some guys and make sure everyone's trained up, hit us up. That's what I want to make sure your employees are prepared with. I want to make sure your teams are prepared with, because this is the training where you can get it all in one place. Everything on the spectrum that we're expected to know and do, that you better have a lifestyle to support and the proper training to reinforce what you learned when you trained. This next, do you have anything you want to drop on that before we get into like the driving, which I'm so excited about?
No, I'm looking forward to seeing what John's got. I haven't trained under him before, so I'm really looking forward to it, actually.
Yeah, it's next level, just like he says in his training. I'm
Great addition. Great addition.
Yes, absolutely. So this next portion of the training is something I really feel I'm really excited about, because it's a huge opportunity that I haven't seen or had access to during my entire career, other than Rick and Sec 4. This is training that agencies have access to, state departments has access to, military folks, but in the executive protection industry, this has really been, Rick's been the only guy who I know of that's really doing it on a large scale, doing it the way he's doing it. And so we're about to roll something out to you guys that is going to change the game. So let's break into the driving portion, sir.
All right.
And let them know what we're coming with.
So a lot of you have been through driving training before. All the main courses that are out there are awesome. I got to tell you right now, they're straight up great driving courses.
I've been to a lot of them.
But in my opinion, they stop short for what I need. That's all, just what I need. Because I drive and I move clients in hostile environments quite often, I knew I needed something a little bit different. And I knew that if you guys were going to end up moving executives in Mexico, or an artist in Bogota, Colombia, or you support maybe risk management for a media group over in Syria, or an NGO in Ukraine, or something like that, that you may need some other skill sets that maybe weren't available to private sector yet.
And if you are working in Florida, because I got in 2 encounters in Florida where I had to trade paint and actually contact drive and fight a dude with a car, you might also need our training.
I forgot for a quick second, or Portland, Oregon, or, or Minneapolis, or St. Louis. Okay, there's a lot of places now you can use hardcore defensive driving. Okay, but back to the point of the conversation is, there's great courses out there, but for what I needed and the places I drive, I needed a little bit more. And one of the things that I wanted to include when I started these driving packages was contact driving. The only way out of a problem in many scenarios, when you're behind that wheel, or even if you're right front seat and you're directing that driver, which happens a lot, is with your vehicle. You might be smashing through innocent vehicles to get out of a problem, or you might be going through the problem. We have a kind of a saying when we do this driving training. You always want to keep rolling. Obviously, if you're continuing to roll, you can get to your safe place. So keep rolling forward. If you can't roll forward, roll backward. If you can't roll forward or backward, roll through. If you can't roll forward or backward or through, then it's probably time to bail, and we'll go over that later too. But we wanted to put in contact driving. Now, I took a lot of crap from people out there when I was doing contract driving, or, the contract driving. Oh, you don't need that. Yeah, you do. So all it takes is a little tour of YouTube. Look up carjackings in Santiago, Chile. Look up that, I think you had him on your podcast, the armored car driver from South Africa that had nothing other than to use his vehicle. They're in an armored vehicle. They can't shoot out. Your vehicle becomes the weapon. And so what we did was put something together so that you guys can get used to that contact. And we actually end up doing pit, counter pit in motorcade. And do we think you're going to get pitted or counter pitted? Maybe not, but it gets contact while you're driving, not being afraid of it, because what are we taught since we're 16 years old and we get our license? Don't make contact, don't hit. We need to break you of that and show you how this can be an advantage to you. And you will at the end of our course. So that is one of the things. The other things we do differently is we do a lot of vehicle-to-vehicle communications. You have to know that.
Huge.
You have to know how to use those support vehicles or support vehicle to support that limo with that principal inside. You have to know that from the driver's standpoint and from the right front seat. So you guys are literally going to be rotating through these positions. First, you'll be in lead, then limo, then follow. You'll be rotating through all these positions so you can get a good handle on every single one of these positions. By the time you guys are done with that 3-day package, you'll not only have your driving cert. We do go through dynamics at first. I don't want to make it look like we don't go through the braking, steering, controlling weight shift. You will be able to dominate that vehicle before you go into proximity driving, driving close to each other, contact, security driving, motorcade, all that stuff. So we do go through the progression. We just do it quickly because we don't have downtime. You're training when you're out there. If you've been to those driving courses where you stand on the side of the track for 2-3 hours, that used to drive me bonkers. And so we eliminated that. So there is no standing around waiting. There's driving. You're going to get a lot of wheel time in that 3 days.
Yep, 100%. So just to make sure you guys understand the difference, I've been to a lot of vehicle dynamics courses, and those are very important, and they're great. They're executed very well. You need to understand how to get the most out of your vehicle to survive any kind of force encounter. That vehicle is your primary tool, right? So that's huge. Those courses are awesome. But what I want you to understand is we are taking it to the next level. Understanding how to pit a vehicle, understanding what to do with your vehicle to move a vehicle off the road, understanding how to defend against someone trying to run you off the road. You are going to make contact. We have caged vehicles that can bump into each other, bump each other off the road, do everything we need to do to get you really comfortable with understanding how to fight with your vehicle, how to dodge airbag deployment. With a lot of new vehicles, you will find you can actually trigger the safety mechanisms in the vehicle and knock yourself out. We're going to take a look at how to avoid that. We're going to take a look at, how to make sure that if there's a roadblock set up in front of you, what to do, where to attack that roadblock, how to deal with that. We're going to dig into everything all the way up to, you guys ready for this? We're going to teach you how to survive a roll inside of a vehicle. Have you ever been inside of a vehicle that's rolled? Will you be? I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm going to make sure you know how to survive that so you can get back in the fight as quickly as possible. And that's kind of where I know that we're offering something. I'm managing IG. Hey, if you're on Instagram, join me on YouTube. Love you guys. So that's how I know we're doing something here that you guys need that is definitely taking a lot of training to the next level, you guys. So, this is training like what you see in law enforcement when they're pitting vehicles and sliding vehicles off the road. This is training like what you see in these other agencies where you're learning how to defend against someone trying to run you off the road. Like I said, I've had it happen to me twice. Fortunately, I didn't hesitate to make contact, but if you're not used to making contact and you don't know what's going to happen, you might hesitate, and then you become the victim in that force encounter when you don't understand how to attack the attacker or when or how, right? So this is what we want to equip you with, and it can happen internationally, and I've seen it happen internationally, but this also can happen right here in your very own backyard as we see emotional intelligence and the population plummet. I posted 2 tactical protection reviews on the same thing. The ambush starts, and fortunately the driver knew what to do and drives right through the ambush and doesn't get carjacked that day. So this is some really serious training that a lot of times you got to have a career really to get a hold of. So the driving, I'm extremely excited about. I'm extremely excited about all of it. I'm going to throw the link in the comments in the comment section. If you go to epspecialist.com, you can check out the rest of the course. But there are still a bunch of nuts and bolts, if you guys are serious about coming, that we can talk about real quick as well, just to get you guys an understanding of the capabilities, with lodging and all those other different things.
Right.
Want to pick that out.
Okay. Let me talk a little bit about logistics then real quick.
Yes,
a couple things we wanted to do was include lodging and tuition. You shouldn't have to mess with that. And Byron and I have, recently been to the facility together. So we know it costs about $160 a night to stay in the area at the hotels, which is kind of ridiculously high for the area. But that's just what it costs. That's like $1,200. We just wanted to include that in tuition so that you guys don't have to do that. We wanted to put more money in the training rather than have you guys out there running around with hotels. Also,
Right.
our houses are right on site. It's 200 yards from the track. So there's no wasted time driving from place to place. 300 yards from the firing ranges, 150 yards from the skid pad. I mean, everything's right there. 75 yards from the mat room. I mean, everything is right there. So you wake up in the morning, you have breakfast, and you're training. And that's the way we wanted it. We didn't want long drives to get to the range and to get to here and to get to there. We wanted you guys to train, so we included that. You don't need to bring a handgun if you don't have one. You don't need to bring ammunition. A lot of courses will require that. We're going to provide you with, on the tuition, you're going to be provided with 1,200 rounds of ammunition and a rental firearm. If you have your own, you can obviously bring it, and we'll give you a little bit of a break, obviously, because you're bringing your own ammo. So we're going to basically look at what we pay for the ammo and give you that break. But those are some logistic things that are key. The course cost, I'm going to let Byron talk about that, but I want to say one thing about it. Go out and look at 3-day driving packages. What you're going to find is 3-day driving packages are going to cost you out there between $2,000 and $2,600. What they're not going to include is contact driving. The ones that will not have a track. You're on a 1.2 mile track with cutouts and crossroads and things like that. We want you to be able to drive realistically. Not everything is an attack. You're going to have regular cars just passing you. We want to teach you how to posture on those as well. So look at those prices out there with no contact driving. And that's about half our tuition. And we're letting you guys basically buy cars. You're going to be damaging cars so that they're no longer drivable. But that's all part of the training. So we're going to be charging you for that module the same that everybody else is. But you're going to be beating these cars up and smashing into these vehicles we have out there just because we think that's important. So I wanted to say that before we get into anything else, because it's an 8-day course, and 3 of it, almost half of it, is driving, where you're going to be buying cars.
Yeah, well, we're going to be buying cars. You're going to be driving cars and crashing.
Well,
cars.
your tuition's buying cars. Yeah,
exactly,
we're actually making the purchases. Yeah,
exactly. No, and that's what I would encourage you guys to do. I believe the price point is awesome. It's amazing for what you're getting. Go and look at some other 7-day courses and even longer. Go and look at some other driving courses. You're going to get all of your firearms training, attack on principle stuff. You're going to get your medical stuff, all your certificates in one place. You're going to get about a 3-day module on each and every one of these competencies. You're going to get your driving knocked out. You're going to get hand-to-hand certificates. You're going to get all 4 of these competencies in one place over the course of 8 days. And the tuition is
12-hour days. 12-hour days. So it's kind of like 2 weeks of training crammed into eight days. Yeah, exactly.
I should just have you guys go look at the website to see what it is. Go click the link and go to the website. And
yeah, you can do that. The tuition is, you want me to tell them the tuition?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's $4,350, guys. $4,350. So if you start adding up hotel fees, if you were going to buy your own or get your own hotel, that's $1,200. If you're going to bill out the 1,200 rounds, that's $400, and a rental, the rental firearms. So we just wanted to include everything. And like I said, keep that money in the training program rather than have it spread out in hotels and rental cars and things like that. All you have to do is show up in Arizona, Tucson, Arizona. We'll get you at the airport. We'll run you through the mill for 8 days, and then we'll deliver you back to the airport when it's all over.
Heck yeah. And you will be a better protector for having gone through it. I guarantee it. I promise. And I can't wait to get out there and train with you guys. But yeah, like I was saying, go and look and see what else is out there in the industry, see what other packages are out there, see what everyone's offering, and make the decision you think is best for yours. I know that what we're offering is far and away, very much above where the price point is. I know that right now, finances, some people have different levels of financial potency. So we are offering payment plans. We are offering as much support as we can to help you guys get to this course. The other huge thing about this course, the other squeeze is there's not a lot of space available. So you're going to have to act fast. You're going to have to get on it. And you guys know in my past, I've offered these courses like the Protector Symposium, where we've got unlimited signups for day 1. 50 people can come to day 2. This is not like that. Protector games, we can take 150 protectors. This is not like that. This is going to be maximum class size, I believe, is 15 or 16, right, Rick?
I'd rather cap it at 12. And the reason why I say that,
see, told you guys.
Yeah, I like to cap it at 12. We did a lot of military training in the past, and the average class size was 24. We used to split that in half, take those 12 and round robin them through. That works really well. And when I told you guys are going to be driving constantly. Same thing with shooting constantly. If I got 37 people back here waiting to shoot, I can't keep you on the line. Right. If I've got 32 people back there waiting to drive, I can't keep you behind the wheel. So what we agreed on is let's try to cap this at 12 and see how that goes, and really get you guys the training that you're coming out and paying for. There's just no reason to make this a cattle call, guys. And I always hated that. Huge class sizes where everyone's standing around and getting a very little bit of a taste of each of these things, when you guys should be mastering these things in that 8 days that you're there.
Hence the name, Hard Skills Intensive. This is going to be high touch. You're going to be getting really lots of focus, lots of contact, lots of time. You're going to be getting basically your own instructor. You're going to be rolling through training like a squad size element. You know, it's going to be your squad rolling through training. You guys are going to get close. You guys are going to be like legitimately ready to go to war together after you do all this training together. But the value you're going to be able to walk away from with that size of a crew rolling through this is huge, you know. And the last thing I'll let you guys know is location. It's going to be down in Arizona. I don't want to give them too much information on the location. I don't like to do that till we roll it out. But
I did already, but sorry.
Yeah, it's out there in Arizona. So it's a real central location. You guys will be able to, everyone will be able to get to. And everything is right there. Like Rick said, you will wake up in the morning, you will step out your front door, and we will be standing there and we will be getting it in. We'll be getting you chow. We'll be getting you food. Birthing is taken care of. Your room is taken care of. And we're basically just going to spend 8 days together training, getting after it, and getting better. So I can't wait to do this and roll this out for the executive protection industry. Yeah, y'all. So go to, it's going to be an awesome time. So go to epspecialist.com, you guys, check it out. There is also going to be some bundles we're going to be rolling out with the training day package and with the master's class. I believe you can see those when you go to epspecialist.com. If they're not up, they'll be up soon. But the course is up there. So when you go to the website, when you get to the homepage, just scroll all the way down and you will see the training, or on the top of the screen, go to level 3, because this is the 3rd level in the EP specialist training pipeline. To get that EP specialist certification, we want to make sure you've got those hard skills. So do you guys, before we go, do you guys have any questions for me here on the chat or in, I'm also managing the IG. If you guys in IG land have any questions you want to hit me with, I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to crack those off, and then we will bounce. But just a quick recap. It's going to be hot. Yes, it is going to be hot. Make sure you're hydrating out there. Mike Harris. Yeah, you know the game, man. We're going to get after it. Do you have anything else you want to hit him with, Rick, before we open it up to questions?
No, that's probably it now. Let's see what they have to say.
Awesome. But yeah, recap, you guys, you're going to get all of the executive protection competencies in one place. It's an honor to bring this stuff to you guys. And it's going to be a chosen few that are going to go through the course. And the date, we haven't mentioned the date. This course is going to be going down May 6th through the 13th down there in Tucson, Arizona. So stand by, palms down. You got about 5 weeks to prepare. We're going to help with financing if needed. And this is going to be one of those certificates that's going to be highly recognized, but it's going to check a lot of boxes for you guys as you unroll your career. There's one that's going to take a lot of spaces in your training jacket.
One thing to add for me anyways, I just thought of it. That's why I'm sorry butting in like this. When we're talking about how intense this training is going to be, we're not going to boot camp you. That's not what kind of a training. That's not what kind of a training organization we run. I'll tell you how I run these training programs. I assume that we're going to be on a team together. sooner or later. Many of my past students, we work together now. In fact, almost everybody that works for us down in Colombia or Mexico or overseas are former students of ours. Now, we hire because we believe in what we taught you, and we kind of seen you in action there. So we don't boot camp you. We train you as if you're part of our team, and we're going to be working for you. So we're trying to get you up to that level, is the best level you can be at. Not everybody's going to be at the same level. And we don't always just take, that's top person in the class. That person's going to work with us. That's not how it works. There's a lot of other elements that go along with that. But I just wanted to let you guys know we're not going to be running you, and we're going to have actually stations up for you guys to do your own workouts. You'll be able to run in the morning. You'll be able to do all these different things. But we're not going to be pushing you in that way. We're going to be training you to make you the best that we can possibly make you in that 8 days. And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. On that. I love the military and what I experienced. And it was all great and all that stuff. But this isn't like that type of training. You're going to understand why you're doing what you're doing. You're going to be in a learning environment. It's not that type of intense. It's going to be, when I say intense, I mean, it's something you'll walk away from being like, I was reborn during this training. I got to know myself better and my competencies. You'll have confidence that comes from experience with yourself. And that is what I really want you to bring into your life. I got a few questions real quick. Hey, Byron from NC77. Hey, Byron, are the first 2 levels of EP training that I offer a prerequisite? Negative, they are not a prerequisite. This is a standalone course. For those guys working to get their EP specialist certification, this is part of what you need to execute on in order to get that cert that says that you've got the soft skills training, you've got the hard skills training, and then ultimately there's a capstone executive protection course that we're going to be looking at to take you out in the field and really like train you how to do what we do. And, we'll talk more about that later, but no, this is not it's not a prerequisite. You can come from anywhere in your career getting in, or maybe you've been around the block a couple times. You want to do something new, and re-up your competencies. Maybe you were retired, whatever, and you want to check it out. Boom. This is what this is for. Do you have anything you want to hit? Well, actually, that's kind of brand.
I just saw a question down here that's important. There was a question about do these certificates have a renewal or an expiration? All right. So how that works is some do and some don't. The medical ones absolutely do, because those are coming from a third-party organization. We're delivering the training. We're certified instructors, but these will have anywhere from a 2 to 3 year shelf life before you have to come back and renew. And there's different medical certs you guys are going to be getting, so it's going to change depending on which one. But I believe the CPR one is 2, and I believe the TECC, Tactical Emergency Casualty Care, I believe that's 3 now, 3 years. Okay, cool. Used to be 4, then they bopped it down, I think. Okay. So those I wanted to get across just because I saw a question in the comments about that.
Yeah, no, that's good. And, that kind of touches back on what I was saying. You're going to get third-party certs that are going to go in your training jacket that are really, really valuable to you and employers. And you guys, right now, this industry is blowing up. There's never been a better time to get into executive protection or be an EP. I don't think. Maybe like right when the Iraq war started to calm down, all the contractors started going over. That was probably a good time. That was a good time to contract, right? But Rick's like, yeah, I made a lot of money during that time.
Why do we not get paid what we used to get paid back then? I don't get that. I don't.
Right, but it's starting to climb back up there.
I hope so.
So it's that time again, guys. And LA is opening up their CCW stuff, but what I am seeing is a red ocean right now. This means there's a lot of agents getting into the game, and skill levels do vary. And so you guys need to find ways to differentiate yourselves in this industry and make sure that your stuff looks better and is better than the other guys. And so what you invest in yourself, you get what you pay for. What you invest in your career is what you're going to get out of it. And I'm not speaking like this isn't pie in the sky. When my students, I would literally bore you guys with progress reports if I posted all the positive stuff that my students from training day talk about when it comes to actual career success. Because, the stuff I'm telling you is true. We're looking at that stuff as employers, and it's very, very important. Let's see. Jack hit me with a question. Good to see you on here, brother. And what's up, Gully? Good to see you, man. It's been a long time. Airfare is not included, brother. That's the only thing. That's the only additional cost airfare, and then your meals. I believe you gotta.
Yeah, let me tell you how the meals work, guys, because we can minimize that cost for you. The houses you'll be staying in have full kitchens. They
Yep.
have washing machines for your laundry in each of these houses. You'll each have your own room. There'll be some shared bathroom space, but you guys, a lot of you guys are military guys, and you guys get how that goes.
Right.
But like I said, this is keeping the money in the training and not in the hotel world out in town. What else? What else?
Boom, boom, boom. No, I mean, I think that's the main thing. Those are the main few that I'm seeing here. Let's see.
Oh yeah, because there's a full kitchen there, we'll take you to the grocery store, and that's what we're getting to. And you guys get what you want for the week, drive it in, and if you guys need something during the week, we'll head out into town and get what you need. So we take care of you so you can fill your fridges. There's stoves, microwaves, all the frying pans and plates and forks and knives you need.
Yep. It's kind of like, it's not a field out, but it's like an outing, like you're going to be out there. It's like the birthing and all that stuff's nice, but it's like a training vacation kind of, you know what I mean? Like you have your own, I love training. So,
Right.
It's like a training getaway. So yeah, you guys, I'm looking forward to it. I think we're going to wrap this bad boy up. You got
Let me answer these 2 questions on the comments really quick. I swear I won't ramble on. Mike asked, is this a one-time training opportunity? All right, here's the deal on that. I've been doing training all my life, and the few words I hate to hear is, when is your next class? I know. Not everybody can make this one. I get it. Byron and I are both, as you know, active in the industry. It was harder than hell for us to come up with this block of time to do this training. So we're definitely going to want to do more of these. We just don't know when that is yet. So if you can come out, if you have the means to come out now. Because as Byron said, we're capping at 12. And 12. So that's 12 at a time. Yeah, 12. Sorry, man. But that's
and you guys know me. I cram more in there if I could. But we can't sacrifice the quality of the experience. For those who do pay and come to this.
One other question, and then I'll stop. I see a question out here from Charles that says the number of certifications. Well, let's add them up. You're going to get an overall cert for the entire package. Okay, so you're going to get that. You're going to get a separate driving package, certificate. And the reason why we're giving you that 3-day driving cert, many employers require that 3-day driving cert. So it's not just balled into the 8-day cert. You're actually going to get a separate cert as well for that, so that you can add that to your package. You're going to get a tactical emergency casualty care cert from the NAEMT. You're going to get a CPR AED, or what they call basic life support cert, from American Red Cross. Yep. Those largely are the certs that we're going to provide in this class. Later, we'll probably be doing some longer classes and some other things that we were doing with our students before. We actually had a 7-week academy, and we'll be giving you guys some different certs. But in this 8-day package, it's about as many as we could cram in.
Outstanding. Yo, hey, Mike, I can't wait to train with you. He's in the comments. He's like, I'm taking time off my detail. I'm in, my man. You and your son, you and Mo, come out, whip it on. Let's go, man. Y'all been with me all the way already, man. We're gonna take you to the next level. All right, good stuff, y'all. So, without any further ado, the link is in the comments. epspecialist.com. Scroll down, you will see this level of training. I'm going to go ahead and throw you a link right here, depending on what platform you're watching me on. Click that, and let's get to work, you guys.
Hey, Sandy, I saw your comment. I am sorry, that's me. I do say guys all the time. I mean that is all inclusive. We've had some of the greatest gals ever that have gone through our courses that have amazed us at how well they do at this type of training. So my bad completely. I use that as an overall for everybody, but that's me. I'm sorry.
Yes, no, 100%. We as guys are guilty of that. We're guilty of that. So, nonetheless, awesome. And we've got some females that have come through. Females are a threat when it comes to the student aspect. They're just good students. I don't want to say they're better students, but they'll listen to what you tell them to do. Even me, in some of my driving courses, I like to think I can just I can learn anything, but I still found myself at a few courses driving, especially being like, man, I can drive a car. And they're like, do this. And I'm like, man, I can do. And then I had to learn that I needed to learn. And then I learned, So anyways, good stuff, you guys. Love you guys. Love what we're doing together. Love getting better together. Love watching your guys' success. For those of you who've been training with me in the league, when we have our meetings and listening to how you guys are winning out there in the industry. Looking forward to working with Rick to bring you guys some really, really, really high-end training that's going to change really the trajectory of your career, make you more marketable, help you have access to more opportunities, but also help you be as advertised. You've got to be legit. And if you're listening to the things that we're telling you, we're going to offer you, and you're like, man, I haven't done that. I need to re-up my medical, and I need to re-up, firearms engagements with and around my principal. And I haven't ever done any kind of force on force stuff, or I need to really re-up my vehicle dynamics and or understanding contact driving. I've never done that before. This is something that you really, really, really need to look at. These guys are over here talking about signing up right now. So this is what we want you guys to walk away with, because people are paying us and depending on us to be as advertised. So it's going to be an honor to train with all of you. Outstanding. And with that, thanks again, Rick. You're the man. You are the man. I'm looking forward to this. Thanks for your time and attention, brother. It's been an honor having you.
I can't wait. Can't wait to see you guys out there. So let's get this done.
Outstanding. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you guys on the next piece of free content out there in the game, training or doing the deed. Byron Rogers, protector by nature and by trade. Hit the link, and I'll catch you guys in Arizona this May 6th through 13th. Let's make it happen. Boom. Sweet.